What I'm doing, friends? Actually, I'm joining my knuckles. So, in English grammar also, we do have such joining words which we call conjunctions. And in today's video, we are going to discuss these words in detail. Now, when we look at conjunctions and the types, the words look so heavy. You must be seeing on the board. So, is it something, putting some pressure on your head that how will we understand? Don't worry. I'll make the game easy for you. Hello everyone, this is Yogita and you're watching English Finishing School. So today we are going to discuss about conjunctions. Conjunctions are the joining words and they join words, phrases and clauses in a sentence. Now when they join words, I'll give you an example. Bread and butter is my favorite food. So when I say bread, butter, they are joined by the conjunction and they are words. And when I say phrases, I'll have idli either in the breakfast or at dinner. So that's how they connect two phrases, in the breakfast or at dinner. So that is how they join two phrases. Now conjunctions can even join two clauses. So before just telling you about clauses, let me tell you what a clause is. Clause is actually the part of a sentence wherein each clause has one verb of its own. So each clause has a verb of its own as a main verb of its own. So that makes a clause. For example, if I say I went to the party and enjoyed a lot. So here we have two clauses. I went to the party, I enjoyed a lot, and each clause is having its own verb. The first one is having went and the second one is having enjoyed. So, and the conjunction and is joining these two clauses which are again the part of a sentence. So, this is how conjunctions act as connectors, conjunctions act as linkers and the conjunctions act as joining words in a sentence. Now, look at the types of conjunctions. There are three types of conjunctions which are usually there in English grammar. The first type is coordinating conjunction. Now when we say coordinating, we often actually get to understand it by a very smart mnemonic. Now let's understand what is a mnemonic. You must have studied in mathematics. To remember certain formulas, we use certain mnemonics. Mnemonics is basically a memory word wherein you can construct a formula just to memorize and remember easily the technical terms. We have BODMAS in mathematics and we remember it very clearly when we want to put up the formula in any context. So mnemonic, the same mnemonic has been used for coordinating conjunctions here and the mnemonic is fanboys. So fanboys stands for, F stands for, A stands for N stands for no, B stands for but, O stands for or, Y stands for yet and S stands for so. So this is how fanboys, this whole list of conjunction comes under coordinating ones. Now what are coordinating conjunctions and where are they used? We need to remember when we look at a sentence, is divided into two parts, two clauses and each clause is an independent clause. Look at the example when I say for. For actually acts just like because in a sentence. For example, if I'll say I didn't attend the party, I'll place a small comma for I was not well. So here each clause is independent. I did not go to the party is independent in its meaning. I was not feeling well is again independent clause in its meaning. Both the sentences do not depend for their meaning on each other. So we use the conjunction for and we use all coordinating conjunctions in a way that when they are used in a sentence, both the sentences are independent of each other. They do not depend on each other for their meanings. And the same goes for and. I went to the party and ate a lot. So that is how and is used. Again, both the clauses here are independent. Nor. Now, she doesn't like pizza nor does she like burger. So this is how again the independent clauses are combined. But I will go to the party, but I will not eat heavy food. Again, but is basically used for two contrasting situations where you are doing something and the other situation is totally contrasting to it. And then we have or. You must pay the fee or you will have to face the consequences. So this is again or is you are giving an alternate. Again, both the clauses in a sentence are independent of each other. Then we have yet. She was happy from outside, yet there was a sorrow feeling inside. So that's how we can use yet in a sentence. So is actually used to describe the consequence of an action. I submitted my application, so I was free from my work. So again, it is used to describe a consequence. So these are coordinating conjunctions. When we talk about this, we just need to remember the fact when they fall in the middle of a sentence as a conjunction, both the clauses will be independent clauses and they would not depend on each other for their meanings. Now next comes correlative conjunctions. When we talk about correlative conjunctions, we said that they always come and exist in pairs. We just can't use either or alone, like we can't have a pair of socks or pair of shoes. We can't just use one shoe. We can't just have one socks to wear. Similarly, if we are using either in a sentence, that will make it a pronoun. That will be no more a conjunction. So they always exist in pairs, and either or, like if we use them in a sentence, we say I'll either go to the party or stay at home. And if we use neither nor together, Sam would neither submit his fee nor will give any excuse. Or else both and how can we use them together? Both Sam and Sia are enjoying the party. So this is how we can use both and together in a sentence, so that she's so happy that she cannot express her happiness. As she's as happy as everyone is. And then we can use not only but also. She not only insulted me but also tried to humiliate me. So this is how you can use both the situations together. Although and yet. Although she is poor, yet she is honest. That's the most common the students use. We can have varieties of although and yet. Although she is studious, yet she gives time for sports. So this is how we can use although and yet in a sentence. So we need to remember the fact again, correlative conjunctions, they always come in pairs and that makes a correlative. They cannot exist alone in a sentence. Then the next category is of subordinating conjunctions. Now the word itself, subordinate. When we talk about clauses, in coordinating we discussed about two independent clauses, and whenever we have subordinating conjunctions in place, we have them in a sentence. We have one independent clause and one dependent or subordinate clause. Dependent clause is also called subordinate clause. That means that's dependent and subordinate clause depends for its meaning on the other, that is independent. So that is why these conjunctions are called subordinating conjunctions. Just see how we use what in a sentence as a subordinating conjunction. It will always fall in the middle, that we all know. I know what you want. So this is again coming in the middle of the sentence, what you want. Now when I say what you want, I'm just the sense is not clear, and what will make the sense clear? I know will make the sense clear. No, she clearly understood where she has to stop. Now where again is used as a subordinating conjunction. Why? I don't know why she is so worried about her exams. So this is how we can use why in a sentence, and the same story goes for many other. Let's say because we always use to specify the reason. She did not attend the school yesterday because she had to attend a wedding. If I would not give you your result if you tell me not to repeat your mistakes in future. So this is how we use, and there are many in list, unless, until, and we can use them in context, and we learn them complex conjunctions in the next video. Whether we use for option, tell me whether to stay or leave. Whereas she tried to help the poor, whereas she forgot to give her the required things. So these all are the conjunctions which act as subordinating conjunctions in a sentence, and in these sentences we need to remember one would be dependent, that is subordinate clause, and one would be independent clause, that is which doesn't depend on its meaning on the other one. One more thing, based on the position of conjunctions, we always just identify the type of a sentence. If we have a coordinating conjunction in place, we have a coordinating conjunction, that is, I have already discussed the mnemonic fanboy. So we'll say the sentence is compound. And then if we have correlative conjunctions or else the subordinating conjunctions in place, we can say the sentence is complex. So this is how we define the types of sentences also. And then that goes all about the conjunctions, and we are going to discuss about complex structures, complex conjunctions, and many other confusions and the common errors which we make in conjunctions in the next coming videos. So keep watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe my channel, and click on the bell icon next to it so that you get all notifications about the future videos. Thank you very much for watching.